All right, we are live from the Empowered Moms studio. I have the lovely Rebekah here. She is my star student, my empowered mom, who recently had a vaginal birth after not one C-section, but 2 C-sections, and at home of her own power. And like Rebekah, you are just so amazing. It's been wonderful going on this journey with you. You came to me back in June after the second Empowered Birth workshop. And
Yes.
this sweetheart of a little boy, I've been just watching him get bigger and bigger. Oh, I
My
want to
little.
smell his head.
I smell it all day for you. Don't worry.
Oh, oh, he's so precious. So, can you tell everyone a little bit about where you were before you joined the Empowered Birth workshop and then into the program?
Yes. So I actually heard about you through Jenny. So we're in a VBAC group on Facebook, another VBAC group. Um, and I had asked the question about a birth plan. And if anybody had any examples of birth plans. Because I was planning on having a VBAC, hospital VBAC. She recommended you and I think we were a couple days in on your, oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank.
On the Empowered Birth workshop.
Yeah, there you go. The workshop. I could not think of that name on the workshop. And so that the next day, I think, was when you were going to do the birth plan day. So I jumped on and did it, and just hearing everything, like doing the replays of the videos, and I'm just like, wait, what? I have this power. I can do this. Just everything. I'm like, okay, I can fight for what I want. And then, so I had just a little backstory. We'll go back. Sorry. I had 2 previous C-sections. One, my first one was failed induction, of course, inpatient inpatient doctor. I didn't know, and I was 18. I didn't know anything. Really, I trusted the medical team, because that's what we're engraved to do in our brains, is to trust them. And so she induced me at 41 weeks, started Pitocin. 3 hours into the Pitocin, she came in and broke my water. Obviously had no time for my body to react to anything. I was bedbound, wasn't encouraged to get up and move around and walk around and kind of help my body work. And then she came in, it was 26 hours of labor with him. She came in, and my husband was laying on the floor on the cushions from the little couch that they had in there. She comes in with the scrubs, kicks the cushions, and says, "Get up, we're doing a C-section," and threw the scrubs on him. So that was kind of like already a little traumatizing, because we just woke up out of nowhere, and they wheeled me off to the C-section, and I didn't know what was going on, really. I didn't know I could fight. I didn't know anything. But I did know when I got pregnant with my second, I wanted a VBAC. And that was my intention with him, with my second, was, of course, to have a VBAC. Come to find out again, after I did the workshop and he was already born, of course, that I had, again, more rights than what I knew. I went for a NST at 38 weeks, because they recommended that we do an NST. I had a healthy pregnancy. Had I known anything then, I would have declined the NST. There was no need for it. There was no medical need for it. So they did the NST, and I was having probably some Braxton Hicks contractions or some prodromal labor, and his heart rate was dropping, of course, which I know now is normal when you're having a contraction. So they they feared me into having another C-section. They sent me to L&D, And the doctor came in and she's like, oh, his heart rate's dropping and I don't like how it looks. So we need to get him out now. We need to have a C-section. So of course, me and my husband are scared, like, okay, well, my baby's gonna die. Like something's gonna happen to my baby. We need to go now. So we went in and had a C-section with him also. After reading the reports, come to find out, she put on the report that I had informed consent. I was never given informed consent about anything. Also that I declined induction, I declined Pitocin. I was never given the option for induction or Pitocin. Not that I would want Pitocin, but I was never given the option. And so with this little guy, with my third, now I'm here with my third pregnancy, and I find you, and I'm just like, no, I'm having him natural. Like I'm gonna have him natural. I didn't really know anything about like physiological birth until I did the workshop, and I'm like, wait, that's what I want. Like I want a physiological birth because my body has to work. There's no way it doesn't work, So that's when I got hooked up with you, and now my little guy's here.
Yes, he is. And you had a completely physiological birth.
I absolutely did. It was amazing. I know I didn't really want a hospital birth. And you were like, well, you don't have to if you don't want to. You have options. And I'm like, I have options? What do you mean I have options? And so you kind of told me, okay, you could do this, this, or this. And I'm like, well, I want to have him at home. I don't want a hospital birth because I don't feel safe there. So there are some people that feel safe having a hospital birth, which is totally fine, but I didn't feel safe. I don't trust the medical personnel. I don't. And I had a feeling if I were to attempt my VBAC at the hospital, that it wouldn't go how I wanted it, and possibly would have ended up in another C-section, which I was not going to have. So me and my husband decided, okay, we're having this baby at home. And so I got the books that you recommended for me to read to help with getting everything planned. And we did it. I had him at 40 weeks and 3 days. I went into labor on my own. My water broke, went to the bathroom at 3:30 in the morning. My water broke and it was on. We were excited. I texted you and was like, water's broken, time for this baby to come.
Yes, at 4 a.m. And I'm just like, I'm on it. I'm awake. And Hunter was actually beside me because he wanted to snuggle with Mommy that night. And he's like, Mommy, what's going on? And I'm like, the baby's coming. And he actually sat up with me the whole time.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
I was surprised he was going to do that. But
I thought for sure he would go back to sleep, but he didn't. I think he was excited too.
He was very excited. Like he was basically like, he wanted to see the baby. Like that's what he wanted. And I'm like, Hunter, it does take a while. It's not like, oh, my water broke. Oh, it's a Sims game. So now all of a sudden there's a baby.
Here's a baby.
I mean, sometimes it could be like that way. But I mean, that's not how it went for you. But you did your thing. And can you just walk? I know you did a really big class on this, like a 2-hour class inside of our program. So I don't want you to go into that whole big thing again, because anybody who comes into the program, of course, is going to be able to watch that. But just like the short version of what you really experienced in your physiological birth.
Yeah. So, of course, my water broke. Me and my husband were excited. This is really happening. Just knowing that my body's already working, really just made me feel that much better, and confident in my decision of having him at home. So we just, when my water broke, my husband got the pool and everything ready. And I kind of just bounced on the yoga ball for a little bit to try to help things not really speed up, but kind of like go how it's supposed to. And I just kind of, with each wave, I just went through it, and I had you, thank God I had you, because you helped so much. I mean, my husband had you too, which helped a lot. And just, I think just knowing, you brought to my attention too, because it was 10 hours. My labor was 10 hours, which for being, to me, for being the first time my body actually labored on its own, wasn't that long, but it, you know, labors can last as long as they need to last. But just the way my contractions were, and my body letting me, I was able to rest in between contractions, take little naps, to help me get, you know, a little bit more energy. And just, you know, you helped with the, just having the right support really helped things go smooth. And that's, I know, like, a really main thing is you really need to have that support. Because if I didn't have that support, I probably would have gave up and went to the hospital, like, and then it probably would have again ended in another C-section. But I had you, you know, every time I would want to give up, you're like, nope, you're done with that contraction. That one's done. You don't have to do that one anymore, you know? So just going through it, and then finally at the end, when you're like, okay, I'm done, get this baby out, that's how I knew that it was time. And he just came right out. I had him in the pool, so it was pretty amazing.
Yeah, and it was very beautiful watching Eric support you too, because I mean, there were times when he's like, you know, she's getting really tired. And I'm like, yeah, that's a good thing. Let her sleep. Like that's what's supposed to happen. She needs to be resting. And I mean, even when you were pushing, like this was something that I was a little envious of, because you got to rest. So like you'd get
In
into your
between?
position and you'd push, and then you'd go and lay back in the water and just take a nap for a good 3 minutes. And I'm just sitting there like, yeah, that would have been nice.
Yes,
But
I think
yeah,
my body definitely knew. Like you said, I have a scarred uterus, so I think it knew too, like, okay, we can't do this that fast. And then when he was born also, he had the cord wrapped around 2 times. So I think my body also was like, okay, we got to take our time and not rush him out, you know? So yeah, your body definitely knows what it's doing. Definitely.
yes, yes. And he came out and he was so alert and he was so ready, and like it
Yeah.
was just this beautiful thing. And then like at the end you were on the bed and you were just chilling out and you were having like your baby on you and waiting for the placenta and eating toast and whatever else he was bringing you, and it was so peaceful, so
Yes,
beautiful.
it was amazing. And then my boys got to be here, you know, they were here right after, or shortly after he was born. They were back home. So they got to see their baby brother as soon as he was born. And my oldest didn't get to see, he had to wait 3 days because my second was, of course, in the hospital, and they wouldn't allow visitors because it was flu season, and it's always something with the hospitals. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was just really just amazing to be able to be home, feel safe, feel comfortable, you know, have my family here, and just it's completely different. It's just way different.
Let's add one more thing to that, because it is the COVID pandemic season. You didn't have to labor with a mask on.
I didn't. I got to breathe the whole time.
Like you got to breathe the whole time because you stayed home, and like you didn't have to worry about any of that either.
Yeah.
Like that just occurred to me. It's like, wait a minute, like she would have had to be wearing a mask if she was in the hospital. Like
And then
she wouldn't have to do that.
sharing a room with, after labor, sharing a room with other people. My sister just had her baby last week, and she had him in the hospital, and they had them in, after she had the baby, they had taken them to an OR room, and they had like dividers to divide, like, I think she said like 6 moms
Oh
in that
wow.
room. Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
And I'm like, no, this is like, And now I'm even happier that I did not have my baby in the hospital.
Right? Because I mean, you just had your bedroom and your nice
Yes.
comfy bed, and you were just chilling out, and you didn't have to go anywhere.
I took a shower after.
And you even got two very prominent midwives helping at the end, like with the placenta, just to get a
Yes.
little bit of advice. So you got Heather Baker and Gloria LeMay.
Yes. That was amazing.
Yeah, we birth workers, we love to help. And
Yes.
we love it when you can be like, I did it myself, because that's what I really wanted, is for you to be like, I did it myself. I can't believe it. Like I did this. Like
And
you
I think
did
I
this.
said that. I think I said that after, when I picked him up, I was like, I did it. I think
Yeah, you
I said
did.
that.
Yeah, you did. So, I mean, but we worked together for about 3 months before you were going into labor, because you were due on October 15th, and you came into the program starting basically in the beginning of July,
Yeah.
just a little bit before that. I think it was like 1 week before. So it was like the last week of June, and then I was moving. And
Yeah.
then that whole interesting thing happened. But we really got on your sessions and we worked together. I also not only taught you about physiological birth, and we watched Gloria's video, but we also brought in Eric so that he could get his questions asked. And I mean, can you talk a little bit about how that really helped? Like, because I know that like he was on it by the time we were in labor. Like I was just like, wow, he really took everything I said and he's doing it.
Yes. So I think he had some reservations at first. He wasn't too sure. He knows that we wanted the baby to be born at home. And he wanted everything natural like it should be. But I think helping you when he would jump in on the meetings and ask his questions, you really like confirmed, okay, this is okay, this is normal, this is not normal, this is, and it really just made him feel so much better, like the reassurance, and that support, and his, okay, what is my role, is what he asked you, what am I supposed to do? So you telling him, okay, well, basically you follow her lead, just telling him like what his role is and what he should be doing really helped him a lot. And that really did make a big difference, I believe, in the whole labor process and the support that he gave me.
Yeah. And I mean, my thing is like, dads, you're here to protect. Like that's your energy. That's your masculine power.
And that's
There's
exactly what he did.
with it. The toxic side of it, of course, is control, but you want to protect. You're holding that container, that space, so that, like Rebekah, you could get as big as you wanted with your feelings and everything and have that power. And he was basically like, I got you, babe.
Yeah.
And it was so beautiful to witness. I'm like, oh my God, every man needs to know how to do this. Because like the way they show it on TV, of course, is the wife yelling at the husband, I'm gonna kill you, and the dad going, oh, I can't do this. Oh,
you did this to me. Yeah.
My hand hurts, like freaking out about that, or like they see the head coming out and then they pass out, and then it's like the dad's just fainted. I'm like, yeah, that's funny. And also that's not helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there was like you had 2 kids. And there was so much that we taught in the classes every week that you're like, I was days old when I learned this.
Yeah. And I'm still learning a lot. Like, I'm just proud of myself within those few months that I started with you, and everything that I've learned. Like, I didn't know I had all of that in me to fight for my rights, basically, as a human, pretty much, that they don't tell you, there's so many, even at the doctor's appointments, I'm like, no, I won't be doing that, but thank you, just the information. Even now I'm still learning a lot. So
Yeah. And the thing is, like, that's going to continue even as you're taking your kids into the doctor. If there's anything that doesn't sit right with you, you can be like, well, thank you, but I want a second opinion on this before I go ahead with this treatment or this medication. And really getting that. And you can even do that with the school system. Like, this is like basic parenting advocacy and knowing how to stand up for yourself, because often what happens is we're dismissed as moms.
Yeah.
And that not happening no more.
Yeah, definitely not.
But now, Rebekah, now you've been inspired, and there's like you're looking towards the future and what you really want to create for yourself. And we're going to be
Yes.
getting on that call tonight. But did you want to say a little bit about what you were inspired after this birth and
Yes.
even a little bit before?
Yes, so I definitely want to be a doula now. Looking into possibly later on midwife, being a midwife, because we don't really have a lot of that support here. And even being a midwife, I can, let my clients just do it on their own and not interfere with their birth, but just be there in the background. If you need me, I'm here, but you do you. So, like I don't have that support here, especially in my area. And I think just in general, even not just in the States, but probably in Canada too, where there's not that support just in general. So,
Yeah.
but first step, I want to be a doula. I want to become a doula. So
It's already
definitely.
done. It's already done. You did the hardest part. You've already had the experience. So now it's just a matter of me getting you more training. I mean, you're in the program for life now as an empowered mom. So you get to come in every single week and you get to learn all of the information that we have. And I'm constantly getting books. You're constantly learning things. Jenny's bringing things in. Lisa's bringing things in. Like, we really built this now to the point where we have that collective wisdom and we can just keep going. And I can't wait until we can get another empowered mom through our program.
I know, me too.
Like, I'm very excited about that. So, did you want to talk a little bit about what your advice would be for anybody who's even thinking about getting into this program, or even just getting on a call to see where they're at?
Yeah, don't hesitate. Don't just do it. And like Lisa said, run, don't walk, run. And definitely if it's not, the first call with you is basically, okay, let's see if this is a match, to see if you vibe with each other and it's a good thing. You may not be for everybody and everybody may not be for you, but you won't know unless you do it. So if you're thinking, just do it. Don't wait. Definitely. Yeah. I would highly recommend even just going through the class, doing the empowered workshop. And then even after that, if they're interested, just get on that call with you and see how it goes.
Yeah. And I mean, you got a lot of help even before you got into the program. Like, there was, I even asked you, it's like, Rebekah, do you even want half of this stuff that you have on this birth plan that you've written up?
Yeah. And that was before I even got into the program. Definitely.
Yeah. And I mean, it's like, I help everyone. So don't be shy. Like, I'm not going to sell you into something that you don't need. And if it's not a good fit, it's not a good fit. And that's totally okay. But you still deserve to have that help. You still deserve to be empowered. And like, Rebekah, I can see that your little guy is awake now. Hello, precious. Or did he go back to sleep?
He's off and on. He doesn't know what he wants to do right now. He wants to stay up and party, but then he's tired at the same time.
Thank you so much, Rebekah. I really appreciate you so much. And I mean, we're now,
thank you.
I've got a best friend now.
For life. I told you you're stuck with me for life.
I'm stuck with you for life. I mean, that is even like icing on the cake here, is that not only did I get to work with you and be part of your journey, but I've now gained you as a best friend.
Yes.
And we never would have met if it wasn't for lovely Jenny.
I know. Thank you, Jenny.
Thank you, Jenny. You are awesome. And I mean, I never would have, like, Jenny wouldn't have met you if it wasn't for me reaching out to Jenny. So,
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, that's just how it is. So, any of you who've gone through this workshop, who's been in the Facebook group, you see how valuable this is. Think of how much your friends or any mom that you come across, how much they're going to appreciate it if you tell them about this workshop. And I mean, Rebekah said herself, like, she did not know half of this stuff and she'd had 2 babies.
Yeah.
So yeah, we don't teach like how the other prenatal classes teach.
No, it's completely different.
Yeah, this is what I wish that we'd had in place when I was pregnant. And like, it's just next level.
Yeah.
All right, Rebekah. Well, I will let you take care of this little guy, and I will see you tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Love you.
Love you too. Bye.
Bye.
All right. So thank you so much for joining me. Just tell everybody about this because we're not done technically. What we have now is that every single Tuesday I teach inside of the Facebook group and on Instagram. Sometimes I do exclusive interviews just in the Facebook group. If you're not on the email list though, you might miss those because the Facebook algorithm has not been showing all of the posts inside of this group. So I've been noticing that the reach isn't getting to you. So it'll say it reached 50 people and we have over 400 in this group. So if you're not seeing these posts coming up in your scroll feed, you may not be getting the videos. And if you're not getting the videos, then you're not getting the training and you have to go scrolling and finding the replays again. And it's just this big hassle. So I'm going to start to send these through the email list as well. And you'll get notifications whenever we do live trainings. You'll get extra goodies in your inbox when I create PDFs. If I'm creating a course or I have something that I'm beta testing, I send it through my list first. So that's first come, first serve. So by getting on that email list, you're really going to get the VIP of service when it comes to all of the free stuff that I offer, all of the videos, the content, anything that the childbirth classes are not teaching but should be is what I really focus on. And some of the things that I pick up in the birth community, I'm like, hey, like you need to know about this. If I know that there's a book that's coming out on Amazon and it's like discounted to like 90% off, I'm going to let you know about it. One time I actually found out that the Give Birth Like a Feminist book was out like really, really quickly. And it was like $2.99. That was Canadian. So it was even less for US. And I was telling everybody about it, but it was on my Facebook page at the time. I didn't have an email list, so nobody got that message. And then they missed out on a really good discount for an amazing book that Jenny and I have, like, Jenny has just finished the audio version of this book, and she's just like, I love this book. This is the most amazing book by Millie Hill. And I'm like, yeah, I know, right? So yeah, I keep my eye out for all of these birth books all of the time. I'll tell you about certain offers. I'll tell you about free content. I'll be like, hey, check out this article. Check out this video that I did. You'll get replays to everything. And you really want to be on that email list because Facebook keeps messing up and not showing you everything in the feed. And if you're not getting that, then you're not getting the training. You're not getting empowered. And I can't really help you. So please try to get on that email list and check all emails from me. If you have Gmail, make sure you're checking your promotions folder as well because I've sent emails through there as well. All of my content is like valuable. It's important. It's things that are going to actually help you to have an empowered birth. Okay. There's lots of things from Empowering Moms. We do focus mostly on birth, but it's a whole life approach, as Lisa said, and as Rebekah is now going in, she wants to become a doula, and I'm going to teach her how to become a doula because I am a doula. I've gone through the process. My best friend is president of the Doula Services Association. So like I've got all of these connections so I can really help her do that. And like, once you become an empowered mom and have that empowered birth, like this, like the sky is the limit. You can do anything you want, anything you put your mind to, you can do it. So I really believe in you. Thank you so much for going through this workshop with me. If you need any help with your workbook, you know where to find me, Carly at empoweringmomsbirth.ca. Send me an email and I will help you. I've sent a few of you personalized emails just to touch base with you. And any of you who do want to reach out, like, I am always here. All right. I hope you have a really great week. Enjoy catching up on the replays, or if not catching up, going through it again, get that training, because everything's coming down at the stroke of midnight on the 11th. All right, I'll see you.